All right, it is Friday. It is the 13th, but it is time for Staudt on Sports Live. And since it's Friday, that means high school football. And one team in our game of the week is hoping to be a little bit luckier than the others. It's quite the matchup tonight that we have.
Can't you start by just saying hi, Tim?
Hi.
I'm glad you're here. It's a busy day for you guys on Friday. It's very kind of you to come over here and visit with us. Thank you, Crystal. That's very
I'm just happy you remember my name.
You know, let me make this crystal clear.
Never heard that one before.
I can remember your name.
Well, it is. This is a matchup that's actually really, really good. And
our game of the week.
Your game of the week, yes. A lot of people have been talking about it all week, actually.
I'm worried about the weather.
Yes.
I don't want the weather to spoil. And we had 6 great weeks. Mm-hmm. And then 5 great weeks. And then last week was awful. This isn't going to be great.
First week was pretty bad because that was when we had tornadoes, too.
Then 5 good, then this, and then next week's the 9th and final week of the regular season. You're talking about Sexton and Portland at 6 o'clock. If the weather was good, they'd have a full house. Without the weather being good, I don't know. But it's 2 7-0 teams.
And actually, Darren Rockwell was talking about it a little bit earlier today. With it being an hour earlier start time, the weather is going to play a factor. So keep that in mind.
Well, I thought what they were saying was that later, this is an earlier kick. I'm hoping that the weather doesn't come in and get bad till later, because at least they're going to have an hour and 15 minutes where it's light. I mean, where it's not dark, because they start at 6 o'clock for this game. But, I hate bad weather for football because I think it creates, situations where good luck, bad luck plays a factor in who wins and loses. I get that it's the way it's been ever since the game was invented. It's a shame. And tomorrow for Michigan, Indiana, they say it could be a monsoon. And you take the heavy winds, 48 degrees, rain.
Lightning is a possibility as well.
I'm going, so I don't want any hassles, believe me. It's enough hassle getting in and out of that traffic. Then you're going to throw weather in there?
I thought you were going to say it's enough hassle coming over here.
It'd be a week to get back.
So out of the 2 teams on our game of the week tonight, who has the most to prove? To come out.
I think both of them. They're both in the same. They could play in the state tournament against each other later because they could match up.
Okay.
I flipped a coin and took Portland, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sexton won. Sexton's had 4 straight losing seasons, so this is a big year for them. Portland is 85-15 in its last 100 games. That's pretty good.
It's really good, actually. It's in our
You're surprised
web
I know
story.
that.
I am not, because I wrote the web story about it for you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
There are other big games tonight. Mason is at Walled Lake Western. That's the number 1 and 2 ranked teams in the state Division III. They're both undefeated. So at the end of the night, if Mason loses, then there'll only be one Greater Lansing area team undefeated going to week 9, because there's going to be an unbeaten team after Portland plays Sexton. But Mason may well win, too, and then get to 8-0. So the Frenzy at 11:15 will have all of that tonight. Now, what the weather is going to do about these games remains to be seen.
I know the crew in the sports office is bundling all their cameras up in the rain gear, getting ready for it. So you guys got a full crew in there tonight.
I remember when I was a parent watching ours play high school football. I didn't pray for wins or losses. I prayed for decent weather. And it isn't just staying dry, because my window of being able to be involved is like 75 to 78, barometric pressure steady, dew point,
You use the First Alert weather app when you're going out?
It's outside my realm of, comfort zone. Then I don't know, I may not be a participant. Let me tell you. And then what was worse than high school football weather was spring baseball weather.
Spring baseball's pretty bad.
I sat in a lot of 38-degree stands thinking, and then you pray for rain, so it gets rained out and you can go home. And, that's just what it is.
Same with soccer. I remember playing soccer in terrible, terrible weather.
I would tell young parents, get your kids to play indoor sports. Then you don't have to sit out in the elements, whatever it is.
Tell that to the hockey moms. They're always cold.
Well, we had one that played hockey. I liked the hockey games. I enjoyed those. And we had good teams and bad teams. Believe me, we ran the gamut. But I enjoyed the hockey. That was fun. That was good.
I do, especially with the Red Wings kicking off last night, even though it was a loss. So speaking of football, we also have to talk about Michigan State. They are on the road, ready to take on Rutgers. What does the team have to do to make a statement and come back after this losing streak has started?
Get a win.
Well,
Get a win. It's both of them are desperate. If Rutgers is going to make a statement that it's better than it has been. It's 4-2, but they haven't really beat anybody. Their two best games, in my opinion, were losses at Wisconsin and at Michigan. That was where they played their best. State hadn't played in 2 weeks. I do think they're going to change quarterbacks tomorrow.
Okay.
I think Hauser's going to start, but he could play 5 quarterbacks before the day's over. And the weather's going to be a factor there too. And when weather's a factor, that affects the game. It may help you, I never say, well, it helps this team or it hurts. I think the weather, it rains on both sides of the field, last I saw.
It does.
So
any predictions for what's going to happen? I know you
somehow
said
got State winning tomorrow. I wouldn't bet the farm on them at all. And it's not because I like State. I think they're average on a good day. I just don't trust Rutgers. I think Rutgers is better than it was. I think it's good defensively. But Rutgers has got to show me that in a game that could go either way, they can man up and win it. And they're a 5.5-point favorite. State's had an extra week, and I never know if that's good news or bad news. State's got to be a lot more disciplined, and that's a huge if for them. But if they are, well, then they're going to be right in the game. It'll be a fourth-quarter game, and we'll see who makes the plays and wins it. How's that?
That sounds good to me. After that is Sunday, where the Lions are taking on the Bucks, 4:25 kickoff. I checked the injury report. Branch, Gibbs, and Laporta all did not practice yesterday.
Yeah, but you know what? I never know what that means on Sunday.
I don't either. I always feel like they're being conservative with
This guy
that.
practiced today. That guy didn't practice yesterday. In the NFL, sometimes I think it's better if you don't practice just because you need the rest. Then you just need that. But in terms of that being, definite, I don't know if Laporta was back at practice today. But, get me to Sunday morning, just tell me who's playing and who. But you know what? Last week, oh, man, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's not playing. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. I said they will clobber Carolina. Trust me. You could have played, and they're going to clobber Carolina.
I thought about it.
Now, Tampa's better. They're 3-1. They're playing at home. I don't think Gibbs is going to play, or if he does, it'll be limited. But Montgomery, they got players.
They do.
And to me, the Lions' season is very simple to define. If they can keep Goff healthy,
you've said it all along.
They're going to have a good season. I don't know how far they'll go, but they'll romp to the NFC North. If they lose him, then it's going to be a struggle.
So is the Lions division, the NFC North right now, looking very similar to how bad the Tigers division was?
Well, I've asked that. You tell me which one's worse, American League Central or the NFC North? Kick that around over the weekend and get back to me.
I'm going to say NFL Central or NFC North. That's what I mean.
Well, there are 3 bad teams in there, but now don't leave those baseball teams out. And the Twins finally bowed out too, and the others in this Central. I mean, look, it's an argument.
It is.
It's an argument.
It sure is.
So, anyway.
All right, what else do you guys have going on tonight? I know you have a full team out there for Friday Night Frenzy.
Friday Night Frenzy, all the big games tonight, all the big football games around the Big Ten tomorrow. There's hockey tonight, State at Air Force beat. Let's cool our jets a little bit on State hockey. Let them.
Was that an Air Force joke?
Well, I mean, Air Force is a service academy, and they got 6 goals on them, and State changed goalies during the game. So if you give up 6 goals in all the games, you're going to lose a lot of them. I'm going to guess tonight it'll be lower scoring than that. It's just that State's got a lot of new players. And remember, they're ranked 8th. I get that. They won 2 games over Lake State. I get that. But Lake State's picked last in its league. So it's not like they beat the Red Wings, okay? So then let's just get into the Big Ten season, play a few games, and see where everybody is. They need to win tonight, get home after a split. They got Canisius here next week, and Canisius pretty good.
They are very good.
So we'll see.
All right, well, that's what we got coming up. Head on back to the Sports Den, and we will see you guys later.
Crystal clear. That's what we're going to be doing.
That's why I have these balls to throw at people.